Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I've been kind of lacking on all my side projects. Just starting to get caught up with everything. This right here is going to be the main side project at the moment. I'm going to be adding a pressure switch to this, as well as doing some finer adjustments, because this shouldn't be falling off like that. This hose is going bye-bye. This hose it came with is also going bye-bye. Probably going to put together my other hose today, and yeah, let's get into it. First and foremost, most of the stuff that I am doing right now came from a YouTube video that's already up. I'll leave it in the description. Go ahead and check that out. Give him some credit where credit is due. And yeah, let's get into putting this all together. For the most part, everything you need for this is here. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it with some Teflon tape and then put it together. And we'll get into taking this apart a little bit later. So I'm not gonna go super deep into specifics because the other guy already did in his video. And you can also go to the description. I'll leave all the Amazon parts links in there. I'm just gonna go through and hit these with some Teflon tape and then tighten them down. With everything, you wanna go opposite way of which way it screws in. So this screws in righty-tighty. So you wanna go lefty with the Teflon tape. So don't go too crazy with the Teflon tape. You just wanna make sure you have a good seal. Make sure none of it is going into this little inlet. You're just gonna go in and tighten it down. You just wanna seal, that's all it is. A little sealy, you know. Just gonna wrap a little bit of double-sided tape here, just so when I hit it with the pliers, I don't scratch this little brass piece. Just gonna go through and tighten it up. You don't have to go too tight, just tight enough to where you're comfortable with. It's all brass, so you know brass, you tighten it too much, it's gonna warp. Okay, that's snug in there. Let's get putting the rest of it in. This part doesn't matter which side you put it on because it's just going to be screwed in later. Alright, so that's that put all together. Everything's snug and tight. Let's get into taking this apart. For this, there's going to be a screw here, 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 and then two more on the back side, here and here. Just going to go through and take those all out. In the front, as I suspected, there's a lot of exposed wire in here too. I'm just going to go ahead and rewrap that up. So for the hose, there's a hose right here. There's a little bit of thread lock right there. You might have to heat this up just a tad just to get that off. Try and take this off without having to. Oh yeah, okay. You don't really have to per se. There's just a lot of thread lock in there. Okay, you can heat this up if you want to, but you can just muscle it out if you really don't want to heat it up. So this is super important. There's two wires. There's one that wraps around all the way to the power supply. Don't cut that one. Cut the other one. Just cut this one right here. It goes from here to the circuit board. Okay, so you're going to take this wire, strip it back a bit, and then you're just going to use some butt connectors. Just use some butt connectors, get them on there, and then I'm going to be using some 14 gauge wire to connect that to the power switch, or to the pressure switch. Just going to take a butt connector, throw that in, grip it down. Same thing with this side. Then you're just going to take a torch and then get that heat shrink done. Right here, there's a bunch of wire just poking out, sticking out. Gonna have to clean that up because that's a huge hazard right there. Just gonna take off this old tape, retape it up, and then you should be good from there. Yeah, so realistically what you would want to do is go in and then take this apart, resolder it, and then shrink wrap over it. But I don't have time for that. And this is all temporary for now. So I'm just gonna go in and just electrical tape it up. Not super pretty, but it's a lot better than having a bunch of loose wires everywhere. Let's just get to putting this all together. So I just made two, maybe about a foot each, just to have some extra leeway. I'm just gonna strip one end right now, feed them into the butt connector, crimp it, and heat it up. And I'm being extra, but I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that with some electrical tape since I just bought a brand new roll. Okay, so that's me being extra. No more exposed wire as far as I can see. Just gonna go ahead and throw this in. Just gonna feed these wires out through this hole. Put this back in. Okay, so now you're gonna go ahead and screw this piece in. Make sure to hit it with some Teflon tape too. Okay, so you're gonna want it facing that way, or whichever way you want to face it. It doesn't really matter. Ooh, hold on. Amazon's here. More parts. Amazon, more parts for another thing I have to do this weekend. So from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and twist it down. You can orient this whichever way you want to orient this. Doesn't really matter. However, which way you want it to be, pretty much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and measure out to about where you think. I'm gonna cut it to maybe about like right there. Like I said before, I'd rather have extra than not enough. Then you're just gonna go ahead and strip these off and then connect them with some female plugs. These are some female plugs, Amazon. Just gonna strip them off, throw these in, crimp them, you know the deal. Torch it. You're just gonna go through and connect the female. Get these pushed in as far as you can. Cool. Then just torch it how you would normally go about. I'm just gonna connect it to my truck battery really quick and find something to test it with. Okay, so it's plugged up to the truck battery. It should turn on, hopefully, if this works, and it should shut off whenever I let go of this trigger. Off. Off. Stuff's falling off. Nice. Super nice. Adds a quick connect. Works with everything, all the hoses that I normally would use. Got rid of the Japanese fitting. I think that's what it was called. So some other things I wanted to mention was you should go through these cylinder heads. Make sure you don't have any loose pieces of metal floating around in there. Some people have said that there was some scrap metal in there just floating around. Checked mine already and we're all good on that end. Those electrical wires that are in here, I've seen it on almost every single one that I've seen on the internet. So just go in, make sure you don't have any of those loose wires. If you do, cover them up. Next plan is to mount this somewhere. I'm not 100% sure on where I'm going to mount it. I might just mount it in the bed and then extend these wires with some 4 gauge. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I needed to cover with this so far. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. If you like the video, hit the like button. And if you guys want to see more stuff with me in it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.